If you look all over the planet, you'll find a lot of cool or scary natural phenomena, from extreme weather, weird fog, tidal flows, thunder, tornadoes, and strange biological processes. Even if you look at the water, you'll find some really bizarre things going on there. So, sit back and relax as we check out some amazing water phenomena. 1. Halocline. There is a term in oceanography which is called halocline. It is a subtype of chemocline, which is a cline, or a comparatively thin, typically horizontal layer within a fluid in which a property of a fluid varies greatly over a relatively short vertical distance. In short, they are layers within water that have different properties than the surrounding water. There are actually 3 different types of clines: a thermocline, which is based on the difference in water temperature, a pycnocline, which is based on the difference in water density, and the halocline, which is based on water salinity. These seemingly impossible and natural aquatic positions are totally immiscible. The most common of the 3 are thermoclines and haloclines, and they are often confused with each other. Haloclines are found in many areas in the world and are common in areas where freshwater and saltwater come together. Some of these areas include seaside caves, fjords, or estuaries, which is a partially enclosed coastal body of brackish water which usually has 1 or more rivers or streams flowing into it. The halocline always has a different level of salinity than the surrounding water, and so the 2 bodies of water actually stay separated. Some examples of haloclines are the Strait of Gibraltar, where the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean intersect. These 2 seas in essence are recognizably different from each other. The Mediterranean Sea is moderately warm and its saline content is less dense than the Atlantic Ocean. When the Mediterranean Sea water enters the Atlantic Ocean over the Gibraltar Shelf, it moves several hundreds of miles into the Atlantic at a depth of about 3,300 feet, with its own warmth and its own less dense characteristics, and it forms a horizontal halocline that can easily be seen on the surface. Even the large waves, tides, and strong underwater currents keep the Med traveling most of the way across the Atlantic Ocean, intact and undiluted. However, a fairly recent study done in 2014 has shown that the Mediterranean Sea has become saltier and warmer over the past 40 years. It could be possible that this halocline that we see now will disappear. But it's not just in oceans and seas that haloclines occur. This water phenomenon also happens at estuaries or underground rivers. The Yucatan Peninsula in the southern part of Mexico has many popular diving sites where underwater explorers and cave divers can pass from one body of water to another. There are many other incredible examples of this, such as the rare vertical barrier in the Alaskan coastal area, and also Skagen, Denmark, which some say almost looks like the Great Wall of China. Skagen is the northernmost point of Denmark where the Baltic Sea and the North Sea meet. Both of the opposing tides here cannot merge together because they have different densities and chemistry. Some more extreme examples of haloclines can be seen where the Rio Negro and the Amazon River meet in Brazil. The Amazon is silty, while the Rio Negro looks like dark tea due to its high concentration of organic constituents of soil, minerals, and vegetation. More examples of this can be seen all over the world, such as where the Thompson and Fraser rivers in Lytton, British Columbia, Canada meet. The Thompson River is the largest tributary of the Fraser River, which flows through the south-central portion of British Columbia. In Koblenz, Germany, the Mosel and Rhine rivers both meet at one point but stay separated due to the silty composition of one of the rivers. However, it is best seen from an aerial view or from the Ehrenbreitstein Fortress. You can also see a halocline in Devriyag, India, where the Alaknanda and Bhagirathi rivers meet each other, with one being a bright greenish color and the other a milky green. You would think they would both mix when they meet, but they stay separated. In the USA, the confluence of the Green and Colorado rivers in Canyonlands National Park in Utah is something spectacular to see, and it's not too difficult since getting on top of the canyons is easy. Seeing these 2 contrasting colors is simply amazing. Also in the USA, a halocline forms in Cairo, Illinois, where the Ohio and Mississippi rivers meet. It could be possible that in the future the composition of many of these rivers will change and the haloclines will disappear, such as where the Mediterranean Sea meets the Atlantic Ocean. Until then, it's an incredible thing to see and experience, especially if you are a diver, where some say swimming through the 2 bodies of water is like being teleported to a different world. 2. Bioluminescence. Clines are not the only amazing water phenomena that exist. You've probably heard of bioluminescence but aren't sure how this works in nature. Many people don't know this, but most ocean animals produce their own light, or host bacteria that have a useful skill for communication, finding prey, camouflage, and much more. It was once thought that there were very few ocean animals which were bioluminescent. However, it turns out that a whopping 76% of ocean animals can produce their own light through a series of chemical reactions, or these animals have host bacteria that create light. Not to be confused with biofluorescence, in which blue light hits the surface of an animal and it is remitted as a different color such as red, orange, or green. Bioluminescence is the light emitted or ejected by the organism itself and is energy released from chemical reactions inside that animal. Some of you have probably seen a firefly, and if you have, that is a bioluminescent organism. As we touched on earlier, bioluminescence is not as rare as many people might think. In fact, most types of animals, from bacteria to sharks, use bioluminescence. Not all of the functions of bioluminescence are known for all the animals. Typically, bioluminescence is used to evade or warn predators, or to detect and lure prey, and is used for communication between members of the same species. Some examples of this are species that use bioluminescence to produce a bright flash that startles a predator, making it easy for them to escape, and at the same time makes the predator visible in the deep, dark water. This is a great defense, but definitely not the least. In fact, some species have been known to emit a glowing fluid or a cloud of glowing sparks that confuse and misdirect a predator from its real location. Even more incredible is that there are ocean animals that can jettison one of its own body parts, which may be a luminescent limb that distracts a predator, allowing that creature to escape. The interesting thing about some bioluminescent animals is that the light they emit also signals to prey that its next meal might not be so tasty. When it comes to offensive bioluminescence, some animals can emit a burst of bright light which can stun prey, leaving it open for an attack. And like a moth to the flame, prey can be drawn to a faint glow produced by a predator. The most iconic of fish that has this trait is the deep-sea anglerfish. The female of this species sports a type of glowing lure of fish, like a fishing pole. This hangs somewhat close to its terrifying mouth full of teeth. When prey see its light, it is attracted, gets too close, and is snatched up. Ocean animals can also use their naturally created light that tells them that others of the same species are gathering. You may have seen a lot of photos or videos where a blue glow shows up on beaches in places such as the Maldives, one of the islands in the Indian Ocean, or beaches in California. This is caused by what is called blue sea sparkles, or Noctiluca scintillans algae, a type of phytoplankton that converts their chemical energy into light energy when washed ashore. It is commonly known as sea tinkle. They produce light through chemical reactions in proteins. It is by the influence of water, or what is called red tide, that phytoplankton can produce electricity. It turns out that bioluminescence is very important for certain species such as ray-finned fish, a huge group that makes up half of all vertebrates today. Their bioluminescence trait has evolved 27 times. There are around 1,500 species of fish that are known to be bioluminescent. This includes sharks and dragonfish. Another popular animal that glows is the Hawaiian bobtail squid, which lights up by bioluminescent bacteria that lives inside one of their organs. The amazing thing about this reaction is that it camouflages them against moonlight on the surface, which eliminates their shadow and keeps them hidden from predators. But some creatures, such as the comb jelly, which is a beautiful and oval-shaped jelly, have bioluminescence that cannot be seen in light. Their real bioluminescence comes from light-producing chemicals which different species use in different ways, such as flashing the chemicals to deter predators. There are many jellyfish that have this trait. The crystal jelly has been called by scientists the most influential bioluminescent marine organism in the ocean. This creature is a little bit different in that it may glow a greenish blue. The interesting thing is that proteins from this sea jelly are also being studied for use in the early detection of cancer. We've mentioned sharks a couple of times, and by now you're probably wondering which ones use this amazing trait. The tiny 6-inch lantern shark shows off its bioluminescence by photophores, which are light-producing organs that are clustered around its reproductive organs. We hope you enjoyed the video and learned something valuable. And if you liked the video and want to see more, then make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when a new video arrives. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.